Welcome to Review 2, Video 2 on negation. The definition mathematically of negation is that if we've got some number and we add to it another number so that the sum is equal to 0, they are in a negation relationship. This is also called the additive inverse. So, if you think about it, what do we need to add to 4 to get to 0? Well, that's going to be the negation of 4, and that will be 0. What do we need to add to 2 to get to 0? We're going to add the negation of 2 to get to 0. What if we had negative 1? Well, we want to take the negation of negative 1, and we're going to get to 0. Well, what about negative 3? We want to add to it the negation of negative 3 to get to 0. Of course, the negation of negative 1 is 1. The negation of negative 3 is 3. I know that's a quick and non-formal proof of negation, but in an essence, that's a good review and what it is. So when we come across a negative number, we can think about it in a sense of negative 4. Well, that's the negation of 4. And that can be represented as the product of negative 1 multiplied by 4. So this leads us to be able to prove fairly quickly all of the multiplication properties of negation. So, for example, if we've got 5 multiplied by a negative 4, we can write this as negative 1 times 4 times 5, and we can use the associative property, do this in any way we desire, and we end up with the negation of 20 or negative 20. Well, what if we had negative 5 multiplied by negative 4? Well, let's rewrite this as negative 1 times 5 times negative 1 times 4. And we're going to use the associative property. Move these around right here. And we know that 5 multiplied by 4 is 20. Well, what's the negation of negative 1? The negation of negative 1 is a positive 1. Remember what we did up here? The negation of negative 1 is a positive 1. And so we have then 20. I believe that's everything you need to do these review negation problems, and I will see you next class.